I imagine we'll see ROI King put the big pressure here. Yeah, all in. Doesn't love that it's a spade. If your opponent's got a flush, c'est la vie. You got to protect against the straight draws. You got it in again. Got to get in against the one pairings. What a turn for ROI King. Muk hates it, but I don't see how he could fold. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of $1 Million Monday, where we review $1 Million Sunday poker tournaments from America's Card Room with the final 8 remaining players. Everyone here guaranteed $13,500. Let's get to know our players. Once again, a pretty sharky lineup. Bottom middle seat, we have Mook, an average buy-in of 159, profit over 100k, ability 96. To his left, we have Leader Bottle, the one of the lower earners on the table, but still solid. Average buy-in 109, total earnings 20,000, a rank 90. Pippo Inzaghi has total winnings 166,370, average buy-in a 98, rank on SharkScope. Definitely one we want to keep an eye on here. What's all this then? Average buy-in 341. Total earnings of $3,000. So he has the least earnings of the known players on the table, but still profitable. Then we have Kevin Parkour, who is our biggest winner on this final table. Total winnings, $300,000, a 97 rank on SharkScope. Average stake of $300. We have Whoop Your Head Boy, who was anonymous. Blocked on SharkScope, but we did play with him in the Venom. He played a solid game. Definitely one who's going to be making some good plays. We have Axel Booger Hugh, who has an average buy-in 129, total winnings 120,000, and a 98 on SharkScope. And ROI King 69 with a pretty reggy name there. $500 average buy-in, 150k profit, 96 abilities. So everyone here sitting in the 90s. Our lowest earnings are What's All This Then, followed by Leader Bottle, and Whip Your Head Boy is unknown. Kevin Parkour is our top crusher on the table, and our highest stakes players are Pippo, ROI King, and Kev. So that being said, payouts for this final table: $13,500 for 8th, $23,943 for 7th, $34,308 for 6th, $44,673.15 for 5th, $62,604.60 for 4th, $89,139 for 3rd. Then we get to those 6-figure paydays. Second place this week, $1 Million Sunday edition, going to be getting $121,270.50. And this week's champion will be taking on $164,803. So we're going to get the cards up in the air. And while we do that, let's take a look at the chip stacks here. We have them in numbers, but it's obviously most interesting to look at things in terms of big blinds. Imagine we'll see Mook open here. Ace 10, solid hand for early position, is the big stack. Think it should probably go through. What's All This then has the kind of hand that sometimes you like to rejam with, but only facing a late position open. Facing an early position open for shoving fours feels like it'd be a pretty high risk play. Now, Axel does have an ace in the big blind, is getting a nice price, 4.5 to 1, but okay, he is putting himself at risk by playing the pot with a hand that pretty easily be dominated. Now, having flopped to 5, what do you think, Chad? Is he going to go with it? If he doesn't, we see the big downside to defending with a hand like this, that even when you make your hand a pair, you don't even get to play it. So what really was the point of defending it if you're not comfortable putting your last pot size bet in when you hit? We know Axel would be in great shape calling here, having the ace reverse dominated now. But that being said, he could think he's up against overcards, gut shots, straight draws. Okay, does make the call and finds the double. Nice call by Axel Booger Hugh. Obviously, you don't love it, but if you're going to be playing your ace 5 offsuit there, it's important to be willing to go with the hand when you do make a pair and have a pot size bet left. That's the scary thing about defending on short stacks, is that you're going to be put to the test for your tournament life. But at the same time, when you are the shortest stack in the tournament, you can't be too choosy about the spots you get involved in. And probably going to see our first elimination here. This is whoa. Okay. It's still probably going to happen. Whip your head boy with the big stack decides that queen 10 off is fine to open. He's going to be opening all broadways from all positions at this point. Pippo picks up aces. Short enough stack he could flat, but I think we're probably going to see a 3-bet. So maybe like, okay, he does flat, and this is actually perfect because what's all of this then is certainly going to shove with 10s over a loose open and a flat. Probably a little bit concerned about this flat here because typically when you're calling a raise sub 25 blinds, sub 20, sub 15, the shorter you get, the more often the range is like only aces. I think what's all this then probably gonna run into it. And we know that one of his 10s is gone. So there's only one more 10 left in the deck. He's giving it a good think here. Does take the shove though. I just don't see how he doesn't. If it had gone raise 3-bet, maybe 10s could get away, but I don't think when there's a raise and a call, 10s is ever getting away from this. So Pippo gonna make the easy call here with aces and looking to fade the 10 of clubs or a miracle straight run out. Now I would make it interesting. Queen does not. That's gonna be a GG. For what's all this then, our 8th place finisher taking home $13,578.15. Nothing he could do there. Just an good old-fashioned cooler. Ooh, what do we have here? Yikes. 9s for Wook Wook. Kings for Pippo. But they're 40 blinds deep. 2nd place versus 3rd place. I don't think this just goes in. So I think we'll see a 3-bet. Mook Mook has to play cautiously here. Has to respect that early position open. I think we'll see a just call. Okay, and on this board, Mook Mook probably just going to be able to get away from the hand. Is still beating ace, king, ace, queen, but doesn't have a huge equity advantage against them, nor against king, queen, any ace, jack, ace, 10, all over pairs. Mook Mook's 9s aren't looking so good against a 3-betting range on this board. I think he can probably get away from it. Actually, he can certainly get away from it. Question is, does he just drop it on the flop? Or does he call once and then take it to the turn? I mean, he just doesn't beat anything. Unless Pippo's in there with like ace 3, ace 5 suited. So, makes sense. Makes sense. Good laydown. Now, here we'll get interesting. I expect we see a 3-bet with queens. Strong enough hand to play for all the chips against early mid position on 22. Leader bottle may save Axel because I don't think Axel's going to play versus a raise and a 3-bet. But if leader bottle had folded and Pippo just opened, it's a very good chance we're seeing that ace jack go in the middle, especially when we just saw Pippo raise fold last hand, and we can assume he's going a lot wider on his opens than just queens plus. Leader bottle, pretty dicey spot here. Don't really see him playing on. He had a hand that's good enough to open. It's a hand you could use as a 4-bet bluff all in. But again, early position, early position. Do we think that Pippo's just queen jack blocker 3-bet bluffing here? Probably not. And yes, the sizing is smaller for this 3-bet because the stacks are smaller. Oh, wow. Leader bottle thought he was going for it. And he's going to need some of that Black Panther cologne, baby. Where 30% of the time works every time because queens is going nowhere here. Snap call with queens just needs to fade an ace from space, and we're going to get our knockout elimination. Leader bottle went from saving Axel to giving him a free $11,000. Can understand the play, thinking the big stack's pushing around, thinking the big stack's applying ICM pressure because there are the 2 shorter stacks, but maybe a misplay, maybe just unlucky. And our remaining players now all guaranteed $34,000. And now Axel probably going to find his double up. Easy shove here for 10s on 12 bigs. Pippo with 9s. It's an easy call. We see the cards, we know he's in bad shape. But if you think about the range that Axel's shoving with the ace, kings, ace, queens, maybe ace, jack suited, ace, 10 suited. It's a pretty easy call with 9s, especially he only has to put in 10 to play for 27. Oh, wow. Wow. What a freaking all-star. And this is how we learn. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. Love it. Yes. 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 Okay. 9-9 versus, let's just go this. Boom, boom. Let's go this range. 9s have 37%. What a great fold. 10 divided by 2652. We need 37%. So against this range, he has the exact odds. He added an ace jack suited. It's not a profitable call, but just barely. And there are two things that are going on here, which is why Pippo actually found the fold. I'm impressed by this, and I'm loving this. If 8s and 7s were in the range, it's a pretty big equity advantage. He's probably calling, but he is probably thinking that when he raises under the gun and we get a shove from Booger Hugh, that 7s aren't in the range. Maybe 8s is the bottom of the range. Maybe ace jack isn't in the range. Maybe it's 10s plus ace queen. It's not jacks plus ace king, but it's pretty strong. Two other factors. One, if it's a break-even call, Pippo doesn't need to do it. Why? He's already the chip leader. He's already the chip leader. He's got a decent gap between him in second and him in third. Getting an extra 40 million gives him a bigger gap, but does he need it? No. The other thing, there are 1, 2, 3 short stacks in play and some very big pay jumps in play. So with those pay jumps in play, the more short stacks that are still in the mix, the easier it is for Pippo to apply a ton of pressure to Whoop Your Head Boy and Mook Mook and make very big chip ups through ICM pressure without having to go to showdown. So Pippo is actually more interested in keeping the short stacks in play when the spot is kind of break even mathematically than he isn't taking them out. Whereas the mid stacks would rather get these short stacks eliminated so they can have more of the pay jumps secured because they're playing to move up. Whereas Pippo with his stack is kind of trying to play for first while he kind of forces everyone else to kind of like jostle for position for second. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. It's a relatively advanced concept and you got to be very comfortable working your stack to be able to apply it. Okay, we'll see a raise here. Curious if Kev takes the shove. We know Pippo's going really wide. He has a little bit of fold equity off 10 big blinds, just barely. And he is the shortest stack. Most of the time he gets called though, he's not crushing. Okay, he does go for the rejam. And we're going to be flipping here. It's ace king for Pippo. Pocket fours for Kevin Parkour. He's going to need to fade those big cards on this run out. Because we know the money's going in. And there's the ace from space right away. Only 1-4 left in the deck. Not going to happen. Kevin Parkour going to be our 6th place finisher, taking home $34,308. And all our remaining players now guaranteed $44,673. Can't fault Kev for taking that shove. And okay, this is going to be a snap call. Interesting play here. Let's take a look at this. Let's run this one back. 51, no, 500, 1,000. Okay, cool. It's the right amount of blinds. All right, ICMS. Let's just see if 10-6 suited makes it. And we see that 10-6 suited is a profitable shove with the ICM in play. And it is profitable according to Nash. So can't fault Axel for taking the spot here. It's hard for ROI King to wake up with a hand. It's even harder to then hold up with that hand when you wake up for it. And, you know, if he wins this pot pre-flop, he's up to 18. If he finds the double, he both gets the knockout for an $18,000 pay jump and gonna have basically tied for second place chips. So unlucky to run into ace king here, but Axel Booger Hughes, you're not permitted to. Okay, well, I'm not really playing, but see, they're good. They're on their security. It's like those aces didn't find their way back into the deck. They're still here. Whoop Your Head Boy picking it up, and he could get fancy, try to trap Axel, whether it's a limp or a min raise. So if he limps in here, Axel can make a pair and then not be able to fold. And so what he's trying to do is give Axel a really good price to call. 1 big blind to play for 4.5. And then if he makes a pair, he won't be able to fold it, is the hope. I think from what we've seen from Axel, though, he's not going to be interested in this. He's going to wait for a better hand than 9 high to incur any variance on his stack. No, okay, takes a flop. Bottom pair, pot size bet, backdoor flush draw. Not folding for 1. Okay, now the question is Whoop Your Head Boy get more fancy, or does he say this pot's big enough? There's already 6.6 bigs, only 4.4 blind. I'm gonna bet to protect it. If Axel's got a jack or a flush draw. Let's get all the money in. He's got a 6 or a 3. Put him in a spot where he can decide. I think at this point, Axel will find the fold, but you never know. So really thinking it over, thinking about all the flush draws and open-enders and overcards that he is technically ahead of with his pair of 3s. And with only one card to come, he is a favorite against them. Significant one. But we know that he's up against a pair and he is in bad shape. He'd be about a 10% underdog to improve to the best hand. He's going to run this bank all the way down. Outside chance there's a blind increase coming, and so he's timing that. I think it's more likely he's just like, man, this spot sucks. Does make the all-in, and I'll whip your head, boy. Gonna bust him here with aces. So the trap worked out very nicely. Laid the trap with the min raise. Let his opponent catch a piece of the board in a slightly bigger pot. So his opponent felt pot committed. And that's why with aces, it's okay to get fancy, especially against shorter stacks. Because if you do get outdrawn, it's not for a huge amount. And it's easy to make it back if, you get in a situation where you don't get outflopped. And the big thing was, by building the pot just a little bit, he made his man feel committed. And that's why he was able to eliminate him. If it was a limp pot, he would have got some chips out of his opponent with bottom pair, but he might not have got all of them. So nice play there by Whip Your Head Boy. That min raise blind versus blind, just too tempting, too enticing. And Axel's going to be our 5th place finisher, taking home $44,673.15. This could be action though. Raise here. I feel like off 17, that's just a shove. Now, chat, are you guys calling or folding ace jack suited here? If you think your opponent's showing up with ace 10 offsuit, you do. King queen offsuit, probably. It's for about half his chips. Pretty strong hand. But, okay, does make the call. I was just going to say, if he calls and loses, though, he drops down to 3rd. That's exactly what happened. Correct call, though. It was a coin flip. And if he'd won that pot, he would have both got the $30,000 ladder and positioned himself in 2nd place with a very legitimate chance to go for the win. Easy shove for Mook Mook. I don't know. I don't think ROI King's going to call an all in, but maybe I'm wrong. It's interesting to see he's going with a larger sizing here. He's not just min raising, wanting to discourage the big stack from playing. It does incentivize Mook Mook to go all in with more hands. Whoa! And I guess Mook Mook got tripped up by the larger sizing here. Or really wants that ladder from 4th to 3rd, which is huge. He just folded 7s in a spot that I thought would be a slam dunk shove. Probably see ROI King again with the 3.33. Question is, how's Mook Mook going to play? Is he going to call or is he going to shove? Cannot fold a hand this strong in position. Blind versus blind. Does take the flop, and this is a perfect board for him. Top pair better kicker versus ROI King's top pair worse kicker. They've got 2 stacked pot ratio. I think all the money goes in. Question is just how. Thinking Mook Mook shoes. Might as well just call, get in on the oh man. Turn that's not a 2. I imagine we'll see ROI King put the big pressure here. Yeah, all in. Doesn't love that it's a spade. If your opponent's got a flush, c'est la vie. You got to protect against the straight draws. You got it in again. Got to get in against the 1 pair hands. What a turn for ROI King. Mook Mook hates it, but I don't see how he could fold. Oh wow! Why fold when you're just gonna make the best hand, right? Why fold when you're just gonna make the best hand? You had the best hand the whole way, except for when the money went in. It's just how you got to play it. Wow. Wow, what a sick run out, man. Think we know what hand is going to be the teaser clip for the video after seeing that hand. Wow, what a catch for Mook Mook. Poker's great when you can talk about it. Okay, wow. Rerun this hand. Can't fault ROI King for taking the shove here. It's the same as the 10-9 suited. He's chipping up 15% when this gets through. Usually when he gets called by a hand, it's going to be a lot more ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack. Then it is going to be ace, ace, king, king, queen, queen. But we know in this case, he's going to be an 80-20 dog because Mook Mook better not be folding queens. And even with one guy, oh, open ender for ROI King. Flush off from, oh my God. The runouts between these two are savage, man. Savage runouts between these two. And with that, ROI King back in the game. All right, RI King flops the best of it with 4-5. Probably going to bet out for protection here, so as to not get outdrawn by a hand like this. See if Mook Mook wants to do anything frisky. Not a huge reason to, but he does have the backdoor straight draw. And now question is, will RI King just shove to protect the hand and say, I mean, what are the odds you have a 10? Or will he call and play defensive? In which case, Mook Mook gets to see the turn in the river for not too big of an investment. 2.4 into a pot of what will be 6.5. What do you think, Chaz? RI King just going to shove it here or just call? Or option C, funky 4.8 big blind. Yeah, he shoves. And if Mook Mook weren't so short, this could be really interesting. This could be some very high variance. But because Mook Mook is so short, oh man, what are we gonna see? Wow, because Mook Mook's so short, Whoop Your Head Boy didn't even raise ace-8 suited here. Didn't want to risk getting limp shoved on. Just says no variance. Let's get this guy out of here first. Make this extra 30k. Then we'll play. It's crazy how much the dynamic changes when there's a super short stack in play. Wow. Crazy dynamic with the short stack. Whoop Your Head Boy pots it. Pippo folds tens. Inter pair. Pippo with the raise. Mook with a pretty playable hand here. Alright, suited connector flops the flush draw versus top pair, top kicker. Think this money's going in. Mook Mook might as well stop and go just on some outside chance he can get his opponent to fold over cards. He's flopped a flush draw. Easy spot to get all the money in. And people obviously going to snap call. Top pair, top kicker. Needs to fade a 6 or a spade. That's exactly what he does. And Mook Mook going to be our 4th place finisher, taking home $62,604.60. I think this is the point where, yeah, it's not going to show up on the replayer. But at this point, the players agreed to discuss a deal. That's what they did. So with the stacks being as they were, Pippo, the chip leader, chops for the most, $127,936.54. ROI King, next biggest stack, takes on $127,000.58. $127,058.12. And our 3rd place finisher, Whoop Your Head Boy, taking on $120,218.34. Looks like it wasn't just a 30k pay jump, it was actually a 60k pay jump, because one hand after making it 2, 3-handed, these guys called it a deal. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is the deal of the day in $1 Million Sunday. I think all 3 of these players played well. Pippo did a good job keeping the short stacks in play, opening a wider range as the big stack. Whoop Your Head Boy did a really great job adjusting to Pippo's looser opening by doing a lot of 3 bets with A, B, maybe even some C class blockers, and was successful in getting those through and maintaining his stack. ROI King, just pretty selective of the spots. He committed all the chips and wins the award for best run good of the day, winning that 10-8 suited versus Queen. Either way, fantastic review all around. And we're going to go ahead and give away some more free tickets